Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the 10K to $2 million funding challenge. It is Tuesday, October 17th. It is 6 a.m. Well, sorry, 7 a.m. New York time. 6 a.m. here in Houston. It's a beautiful day outside. I hope you're having a beautiful day for all my beautiful friends all over the world. So good morning to everyone here in the States. Good afternoon to everyone over in the UK, Europe, Africa, and good evening to everyone on the other side of the world. Wherever you're at, hope you're having a great day. Welcome in to the Venator stream, sponsored by our incredible folks at Bespoke Funding Program, who are absolutely amazing and fantastic, and could not do what we do here on the stream without them. If you're looking to pick up a challenge, I highly recommend using Bespoke Funding Program. Best in the business right now, in my opinion. And if you use that discount code right over here in the corner, Venator, you get 15% off and an 85% profit split. So hope you guys take advantage of that. That will help support the stream, because everything that we do here on the stream is 100% free. And we try to keep it that way. I want to keep it that way for as long as possible to help as many of you overcome those obstacles that you've been struggling with, the same ones that every trader struggles with. So I hope you'll take advantage of that and support the stream. The other way you can support the stream is clicking that like button down at the bottom. That will also help out every bit of what we're doing here. So hope you guys are having a great day. Busted out a 4% win yesterday on pound dollar. It was a beautiful setup. Got swerved on the first entry. Came back down a couple candles later, tapped us in, and right into that breaker. Just a beautiful, it completely filled in this fair value gap to the pip. It was just beautiful delivery of price. And then we accelerated away from that rapidly. So hit our TP within about 30 minutes. It was a beautiful, beautiful trade. And now we are at 6% profit, just over 6% profit. And looking for just a 1-to-1 winner to close out this phase one, this new phase one challenge. So it's pretty crazy how aggressively you can pass, how quickly you can pass these challenges just by hitting just a small little win streak. I mean, we've won 3 in a row, and really the first one was just a partial, because we closed out at the end of the trading day and we only took a 1R win. We were in 4% drawdown. We are now 6% in profit, which means we have made 10% in the last week and a half, which is pretty astounding when you think about just how long we spent in drawdown before we breached our, we had 10% drawdown, and we spent 3.5 months managing that drawdown, managing our risk. And we finally violated it because we just could not catch a win streak. We'd lose 2, win 1, lose 3, win 1, back and forth like that. And we finally breached it. And then here, another great example of just how you stick to your strategy. You don't change anything. And we're 1R away from passing our 10K. And we were in 4% drawdown. So we were down 4%. And now we're up 6%. That's a 10% swing in under 2 weeks. It's all about risk management. It's all about risk-reward ratio. It's about letting your edge play out in the markets and letting your risk-reward ratio do the damage it needs to when you identify those premium setups. And when you find them, you execute. and you let it play out. And now here we are in great position to close this phase one out and get back on track with our $10K to $2 million funding challenge. So that's what we're looking for. That's what we're doing. Euro dollar, interesting setup here. It didn't take out yesterday's high. It has tapped into the daily fair value gap. I think it may want to put in a high above yesterday's high so that we get a Tuesday high in place. This was a breaker right here. We had some sell side liquidity just placed through. This is a very large breaker. I probably, if I was going to have traded this, I probably would have wanted it to come down into this bottom fair value gap. It has not, and it's moving back up. So I'm just going to step aside and let it keep going. We have retail dollar news. Retail sales come out at 8:30. So I'm inclined to just stay on the sidelines right now until I see a setup that I feel confident can give me a 1-to-1 to close this thing out. So that's what I'm hoping for. And we'll just watch and wait. Pound dollar, after it has not gotten up into its daily fair value gap yet. It's still trading inside yesterday's range. So we haven't taken out yesterday's high. We haven't taken out yesterday's low. And we still have this daily fair value gap up above us. So not sure what, and yesterday's trading session was inside Friday's high and low. So here's Friday's high and low right here. And then yesterday was inside Friday, and today is currently inside yesterday. So kind of winding up here, building some engineering, some liquidity to both the sell side and the buy side. I do still feel like this fair value gap is the spot that we're looking for buy side liquidity to get tapped into. But we'll see. I mean, I'm still bullish dollar until I see some higher time frame evidence that shows anything that shows me that's going to change. I'll be mindful of. But until then, this buy side liquidity, relative equal highs up here, daily fair value gap looks really juicy before we want to head back down. So potentially still looking for some buys here. If we get displacement up above through some levels and we violate some of these order blocks, then I would potentially start looking for some more buys on GU short term here. But we'll need to see some clear evidence of displacement through some levels. We haven't taken out any sell side below this level, so this is the order block that I would look to be violated first. If we are going to go higher. DXY, you can see here on the daily time frame, we've tapped into that daily fair value gap, just like Euro. We have not taken out yesterday's low. I would anticipate a low of the week somewhere inside this fair value gap and below yesterday's low. So I'm still thinking DXY goes lower from here. Perhaps back down into this inverted fair value gap right here, potentially. So that's what I'm kind of eyeballing here on DXY. That would set up well for pound dollar to displace higher, euro dollar, to continue up above where it's at. Pound yen, I had this spike down this morning through all of these lows. This trade yesterday, we missed it by half a pip. This little run up right here. We missed it by half a pip to get triggered in off of this breaker right here. And it's frustrating, but we did catch the pound dollar trade, so it worked out just fine. Would have been a brutal day if we had missed both of those. Here, if we get displacement back above this level here, then I would be looking for some displacement through here And then you might be able to target some relative equal highs up here again. We'll see about that. Pound Aussie has fallen off. These weekly fair value gaps are holding up. Oh, excuse me. I thought last week this fair value gap would have been the one, but it rammed through that into this upper fair value gap here. These relative equal lows look so prime on the weekly time frame for sell side liquidity. We're tapped into internal. We've tapped into internal liquidity on the buy side right here. Now we're starting to head lower. It will be interesting to see if it wants to displace through this low here. Could just continue up from here as we reach back down into an OTE. This is an optimal trade entry level right here off of this impulse leg up. So could turn around here. Just going to keep our eye on it and see. My goodness. I do not feel tired. I don't know why I'm yawning so much already this morning. I slept great last night, actually. Maybe that's why. I'm just still trying to wake up a little bit, I guess. We've run through buy side liquidity. We've displaced lower. This is the 30-minute time frame. Don't have a good, clean, clear direction or vibe on GA, so probably we'll just let that one sit. Dollar yen just moving around sideways. There's nothing attractive about UJ here for me at all. The indices have been cranking higher. Long term, we've had this run of liquidity on the sell side. We've started to trade above this old swing high. Yesterday we displaced and closed above it finally. First had our first body close above it. Today will be interesting to see if this was just a liquidity grab or if this is going to start a new trend up into this fair value gap up here on US 30. Tapped into the fair value gap here and it rejected, held price up. So we'll wait and see how it wants to respond up into this level here. And then you have this inverted fair value gap above us that has acted as support and resistance continuously right here. This old buy side inefficiency was violated, acted as resistance, violated, acted as resistance. It could not hold a closure above it. So once it was violated, it's been respected multiple times. If it gets back up that high, I would anticipate some issues there again. Oil kind of in a consolidation pattern currently right now. After that gap up from what was that, a week or so ago when the Middle East war broke out, gapped up. We closed that gap and now we've broken through and closed above that high. So technically you have a 4-hour breaker right here where you've run sell side liquidity and you've displaced above it. So somewhere back down, it's already kind of tapped into it a little. And I always forget how small it looks on mine. This run up initiated this run down. We took out sell side, rebalanced this area. We've displaced above it. We've come back down into it right here. May want to come back down again, but it doesn't have to. It could just start heading higher from here. There's your breaker right there. This you would have anticipated to be respected as it came back up into it. And it just popped, busted right through, closed and displaced above this old high. And now you're getting a retrace to rebalance these areas. And then you would anticipate these levels here as your draws on liquidity. All right. Euro dollar popping above its old high yesterday, making a new high for the week. DXY has not followed suit just yet, but I would anticipate it's not going to be far behind. Pound dollar is trying to push up. Euro dollar is definitely stronger today. Pound dollar was stronger yesterday. This is the daily fair value gap. We'll be watching to see if we get any kind of price rejection off of it. Again, the daily fair value gap right here is where we're inside of at the moment. Go back and watch yesterday's stream. At the beginning, I had pointed out this was our drawn liquidity, the short-term drawn liquidity that we will wait to see a potential high of the week somewhere in here for euro dollar. That's what I'm anticipating. I will wait for confirmation before I look and return to my long-term bias to target these this monthly fair value gap down here. So until then, I'll maintain my short-term bullish on euro dollar and bullish pound dollar, and then once I see confirmation that we're rolling over, I will look to go short there. But right now we're reaching into that higher time frame drawn liquidity. So we'll see how price responds once we get up in here. Again, pound dollar, I would be looking for some displacement through this level here. This is the daily fair value gap for pound dollar. It didn't get up there yesterday, left it in place, left Friday's high in place. This is Monday's high. So we'll be in the lows, Monday's lows and Friday's lows. All of those are still in place. So just inside trading here on GU. All right, that's kind of what I'm looking for. Probably will just sit on my hands until those retail sales numbers come out at 8:30. Once those hit, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I just need, like I said, a clean 1-to-1 trade, and then we can knock out phase one and go from there. Let me say what's up to those in our chat. Shadow Trades, always good to have you in here. Good morning. Actually, good evening to you. Alpha Bridge, Ayo, what's going on? Beeswax, Cisco, Galaxy Tab, Red Ezekiel. I hope I find a good buck today too, man. We're in the tree stand, always sitting here waiting to see those trophy bucks pop those big racks out there. We'll see. LOL, what's up, man? We are doing good on the new account, and hopefully we get that thing knocked out today. Kevin Maganda, can we have a look at Euro Aussie? We'll pull that up in just a minute. And welcome in, Kevin. Mr. Alfie, good morning. Cisco, all good to call out that despite breaching drawdown rules before, had it been a personal account, they would now be back to break even, wouldn't they? Or somewhere around there. Yeah. I mean, yes, if this was your personal account, you'd be back to break even right now or close to it. There are many traders who will go into drawdown, 12, 15%. That's not uncommon to be 12 or 15% in drawdown. 10%, these targets, these drawdown targets and rules that these prop firms have are very aggressive. They are more aggressive than what you would be trading typically on most accounts, whether it's a live account or if you were even like on a desk at a firm. They're going to have larger drawdown limits than 8% or 10%. And if you're trading a personal account and you're 15% in drawdown, it's not the end of the world. You just keep trading. It's your money. And so, yes, if you were trading a personal account with me through this whole process, you'd be back. Well, actually, you'd probably still be in profits because we'd already made, let's see, we've made 8, 13, 21. We had already made 21% since we've started this back in May. To pass all of the challenges, to get to the payouts, and to purchase new accounts, we have made over 21% since May. And then we had drawdown of 10%. because we violated the breach, right? So we've been in 10% drawdown. We went 4% more in drawdown, so we were 14% in drawdown from our high water mark of 21%, which means we were still 7% in profit. And now we've made an additional 10%, so 17%. We're still 17% in profit since we started this challenge in May, if that makes sense. Had this been personal accounts, we would still be 17% in profit right now from May the 12th when we started. So we're just, what is that? June, July, August, September. So we're 5 months in. 5 months in as of a few days ago. 17% in 5 months is pretty damn good. So yes, Cisco, that's correct. George Tucker, good morning. Ryfin, good morning. LOL, what's with the big move on the yen pairs? Was there news? There had to have been some kind of news. I don't know what it was. I did look through, but I didn't see anything. But there was definitely a big spike there. I don't know if the Bank of Japan had some crazy news or something. I don't know. Not sure, my friend. Dollar still hasn't broken through yesterday's low. Euro dollar still running a lot harder and more aggressively. Pound yen, pound Aussie, dollar yen. Dollar yen is just gross looking to me right now. Like, I don't understand this. This is not pretty price action. Nothing there. All right, somebody, let me get through the rest of the chat here. Got swerved on the EU, planning to enter in OTE levels. It is what it is. Yeah, you can't. I mean, you've seen me get swerved so many times. If you were waiting for an OTE off of this leg, this is where he got swerved. This is where I would have wanted to enter too. So, I mean, I would have entered about 50% of this leg right here, which would have been down in this area underneath this fair value gap. I want to buy in a discount. I want to buy when price is cheap, and I want to sell when price is high. So I would have wanted off of this leg here. This is the breaker right here. Actually, let me go back over here. It did get into a discount on this leg. It just didn't get to OTE. But the breaker itself is right here, and that's where I kind of like to target my entries. I would have gotten swerved on that too. No biggie. It happens, man. It happens. It's not a big deal. Just let it go. We're going to have more moves. Pound had some data this morning, which I think is driving the pound weakness over euro. It could be, yeah. I did see some pound data come out. Jeez. But on oil, there's an order block that more current, so failed order block breaker that are older hold more influence than breaker block. I can't keep these ITC rules straight. Yeah, on oil, it depends on what time frame you're looking at, of course. But if you're looking at the 4 hour, you have this order block here. So these two bullish candles, once they were traded through, they were violated. So this becomes, this down close candle, up close, now becomes your bullish order block. This is on your 4 hour, the new bullish order block right here, this down close candle. If this down close candle from the wick to the body, that's usually the most sensitive area as it comes back down into it, which it has, it's being respected and could push price higher. So it's the down close and up close candles. If they're being respected, then the trend continues. And if they're being disrespected, they turn into breaker blocks. Basically, to me though, for a breaker block to be a breaker block, there needs to have been a run of liquidity to the opposite side of your higher time frame bias. So this, to me, if this gets traded through, if this 4-hour candle gets violated and traded through, this is a breaker because it ran liquidity up here before it was violated. If this down close candle had just come up, this was an up close candle, and it didn't run this liquidity and then it violates, this is not a breaker. It needs to run liquidity. So this would be a breaker. This is the last down close candle before we run liquidity. If this gets violated, I'm just saying it in theory. If it were to get violated, this would become a breaker. Right now, it's an order block. This down close candle is an order block. It should respect price. It should come back down into the wick to body of this down close candle, and it should respect and push up into the buy side. And on the 15-minute, all I'm looking for is if this is my drawn liquidity, I want to see a run of liquidity to the sell side, and then I want to see displacement higher, and then a return, and then a pop up into that liquidity there. So you can see an aggressive displacement through here. It came back and rebalanced a little bit of it. It's taken out some sell side here, but you haven't had the follow through up yet. So it may want to come back down, grab some more liquidity. I would just wait for sell side liquidity to get run, and then big displacement candles that allow you some fair value gaps to target as they come back down into them to target that. That's what I would be waiting for, is wait for the clear displacement. That's your clue. Then you wait for a repricing of that displacement. That's where you get in on these price moves. Just like here, you see this huge aggressive displacement. You wait for price to reprice down into these inefficiencies, and then it moves away. So you want to trade in line with your bias. That's how you do it. That's how you capture that trend move. Percents going up aren't equal to percents going down. Here we go. I should have said, actually, percents going up aren't equal to percents going down, and then pushed up my glasses, nerd. Thank you, John. It's actually, you actually have to make a higher percentage return when you're in drawdown. My logic, I'm not a nerd, so my brain works like I'm working off the original account balance. I understand when you're in drawdown, you have less funds to work with in reality. And so any percentage gain you make is actually a larger percentage gain than what your original account balance is. So technically, we made more money going up than we did going down. Percentage-wise, once you were in 4% drawdown, that was your account balance. So $9,600. So we made more than that. We've made more than 10% to get out of that drawdown to get back to our original. So I believe that's the correct way to look at that math. John, when we talk about percentage on fund accounts, we normally mean as a percentage of a real balance. So they're saying that's it. I'm always, typically as a funded trader, you're talking about your watermark, your benchmark is always that original account balance. And so you're always thinking of percentage gains and loss based on that original account balance. Because when you get your profit share, you take it out, it goes back to that account. I mean, it's always based off of, well, I do understand the math and what you're saying. I'm just saying the way that traders think, and maybe we shouldn't. But that's the reality of the way most traders think, I believe. Dollar has taken out yesterday's low finally. So we'll see how the dollar wants to respond as it moves back down into these levels. Yeah. I mean, price is doing what we anticipated. It's kind of consolidating here a little bit around this level. This old inverted fair value gap here will be interesting to see how it reacts and responds right here. I'm more than happy to continue to trade GU higher here. EU is taken off. It's running pretty hard. GJ showing no signs of doing anything. Somebody wanted to look at Euro Aussie. I can't remember who that was, but I'm going to pull it up. And we'll look through, see where we're at. Oh, evidently we've looked at this before. Euro Aussie. Weekly time frame, we've tapped into that higher time frame draw on liquidity. We've reached up into it and we've pulled back off of it. Obviously in an uptrend, so any moves lower, you would anticipate price climbing higher. So we're in an uptrend, so we would be looking for price to continue higher. If you drop down to the daily time frame, what do you find? You find that we tapped into sell side liquidity, came back up, couldn't take out buy side, finally displaced through last week, left behind a fair value gap. This is where your lower time, this is where you would be targeting a low of the week somewhere inside this fair value gap right here, which is where we're at. It has reached down into that fair value gap, completely rebalanced it, and showing some momentum to reject off of that. So taking out buy side, look at this breaker right here. This is a beautiful 4-hour breaker. So this is your daily fair value gap. So let me just turn that on. Nope, fair value gap. There we go. And I don't need the midline on that. Right here, you have sell side liquidity. You get this run down. God dang it. You get this rundown of liquidity, this quick stab into sell side. It stabs it, and then what do you get? Displacement away. So where did this run of liquidity begin? This last up close candle right here. That's your breaker block. Now inside that breaker, you've got this large 4-hour fair value gap. You also are inside this daily fair value gap. You could drop down into lower time frames and try to identify other fair value gaps. This wick right here I would treat as a fair value gap, even though it overlaps. So somewhere in here, potentially, you would want to be looking for an entry on euro dollar, and it's running off higher. But just a beautiful breaker there on the 4-hour time frame on euro Aussie. Right here. Just a great, beautiful breaker block there. So we would continue, and we'd anticipate these highs as your next draw on liquidity, the last swing high that you put in, probably where you're wanting to head. And then you've got all of these relative equal highs up here. These are beautiful. Got a fair value gap with an order block and relative equal highs. Nice, beautiful draw on liquidity way up there too. It may take a couple days to get up there, but that's really juicy looking. On the 15-minute time frame, if we look at the short term, we've taken out some sell side liquidity, and we're starting to displace through higher. So where did these runs of liquidity begin? You have a breaker block here, and you have a breaker block here. So the run up, grab sell side, we're getting displacement through. So displacement through this level here would be your breaker. On the 15, let's see on a 30 if it looks clean. Yeah, 30 is probably cleaner. Something like that. Hasn't displaced through, it's popped up above. It's basically tapping up into this order block here right now, this bearish order block. So we would want to see displacement above this 30-minute candle, in my opinion. And then you would look for an opportunity potentially to buy into the sell side trend line here. Kind of how I'm looking at it. That's how I see Euro Aussie. I would be looking for buys. All right. GU starting to show some strength here and pop back up. It is 7:35. We have news in an hour. Not inclined to get into a trade here with retail sells coming out. So it could be a really nice setup though right before that hits. That sucks. Basically, what I would be looking for is this right here. That's what I would be looking for. That's all I need, a 1-to-1. All right, let me jump back over here. Welcome back, Shadow Trades. Saeem, good evening, everyone. I'm a little bit sick. Oh, no, man. I'm sorry to hear that. Just hopped in to see how you guys are doing. I'll be back at the live stream for Start Film. Man, I hope you feel better. It's miserable feeling under the weather. Beeswax, haven't seen you use indicators a lot on TradingView, but have you seen the fair value gap indicator? It marks out all. I have seen that one. I used to have I did see it after he put it out. I tried it. I don't think it's that great. I don't think it finds the fair value gaps the way I find them. I mean, the fair value gap, not breaker block. He has one for breaker blocks as well. Fair value gaps. I mean, it finds fair value gaps. I just don't. Like, I see them. I don't need an indicator to show me where a fair value gap is anymore. I'm not saying it's not helpful. Don't hear me say that. I'm not trashing it. I'm just saying I don't use them mostly because I just see them now. I don't need an indicator to help train my eyes to do that anymore. That 30-second chart is making me sick. Probably not horribly wrong. Probably not too horribly wrong there. Oh, goodness. Sell side or buy side getting run, displays through, come back up to a breaker, it displays through. We would anticipate price coming back up into the dollar, coming back up into these to rebalance these. If it wants to just run straight for that sell side, fine. It would set these up for a nice little run here. We'll see. If I get to set up on GJ here or GA, maybe that's not connected to retail sales, so that might be an opportunity. I definitely want to see some displacement through there, though. You have clean relative equal highs up here at the 182 750 area. Euro dollar is just on rocket fuel this morning. That breaker was really nice. It just didn't pull back into an OTE there. My goodness. I'm still thinking high of the week is somewhere up in here. Could be a little bit higher than this. If you look at, let's see, 4 hour, you do still have a larger fair value gap on the 4 hour. It may want to reach up into the daily. We're at it and we're about to close in the daily, but on the 4 hour time frame, you can see there's a larger fair value gap just above right here. We're trading above this one now. On the 4 hour time frame, we still have an hour and 18 minutes, of course, to go. So we'll see if it gets respected. If this 4 hour candle closes up above this 4 hour fair value gap, then you would anticipate for sure this one getting dug into, and maybe your higher of the week is just above that daily. We'll see. That's what I would be. That's what I'd be waiting for here. Patience pays. Patience pays. So we just wait. I mean, I think if you've learned anything from me over these last several months, if you've been watching, I don't trade any differently than when I'm in drawdown than when I'm in profit. I'm not chasing trades. I'm not looking to manufacture a trade. I'm not looking to do anything other than execute my trading plan. So that's all I'm trying to do, is just execute my trading plan. I really like this GU setup, and it's taking everything inside of me right now not to set up a limit order on this 45 minutes before news hits. I mean, this is just a great looking setup. But there is red folder news at 8:30, and my rules, I can't even talk. My rules say don't enter a trade before certain red folder news events, and retail sells is one of those news events that I will wait to pass. So sadly, I will let this one go. But this is a very nice setup there, and I like it. GJ not getting the follow through. Euro Aussie not following through either on that 30-minute candle. We can back up above. Trade what you see, not what you feel. Oh, goodness. Nothing else to do. I'm going to go ahead and clean up this stuff because we don't need it anymore. Don't need that either. Let's see, where did this run of liquidity begin? Up here. You could say that these are your breaker blocks. You do have fair value gaps. So we'll be interested to see how price responds as it comes back into these up close candles here. These are the last up close candles before we started this move down. Right here. And there is a nice little fair value gap nested inside of that area right there. So if price comes back down into that, if we trade through these fair value gaps and start violating them aggressively, that could be your sign that the dollar has found its support here and found its bottom. It's approaching that inverted daily fair value gap there. So see what happens when we get there. But this GU, oof. That GU setup. Looking juicy. I like it. But we'll let it go. It does not fit. Alphabet says, nah, if you're a real GOAT, then you have to take some trade during red news. Passing multiple challenges with one trade. This is the way. Yeah. I thought about getting up and trading London last night and trying to knock out a 1-to-1, getting my credentials, and then starting phase 2 this morning. But I like my sleep too much. I like my sleep too much. And I'm in no rush to pass this. This is when I need some tunes. We used to have music on here, but in the early days, those Corey and everybody was like, "Turn the music off. This is dumb." I used to have some tunes playing. It was the YouTube royalty free, copyright eligible tunes. It was just like rock music, blues music, whatever. But it did help fill the space. Coming into the 8 o'clock hour here, 10 minutes left. Got my shout out to our candle sponsor. Leo Ben. Shout out to Leo Ben and the Teakwood Oak candle. Smells amazing. Oh my gosh. I love the smell of this candle. Man, still no royalty check from Leo Ben yet. Still waiting on that to come through. The royalty free ones. I don't know. I found some good ones that aren't bad. I mean, there was some pretty good. I think I actually still have. Let me see. I think I might still have a. I might still have this file. I don't know. Let me see. I got to browse. Where would it be? It's not in there. All right, so it's probably. Not there. My 30 regular viewers. Leo Ben, I don't know, man. Captive audience. Would you rather have 30 loyalty viewers that buy candles every single month from you, or would you rather have 300 that might buy one candle a year? Thank you, Peace Wax. There we go. There we go. All right, where did I put this? Not there. Here we go. What about this? Because I can't hear it at all. I've got to... Oh, there it is. Now I can hear it. See, it just kind of sits in the background. It just kind of covers up the noise. It is more interesting probably to watch me fumble around on my computer and not be able to figure it out. I don't know. I kind of like the energy, man. I like the energy it brings. And I have a couple playlists of it. Yeah, these are royalty-free ones right here. These are from the YouTube channel itself that you can. So as a creator, you can go in and they have this whole library of music. You can search by genre and feel and vibe and all this. And so I just pulled together a playlist. This is called my Dark Rock playlist. That's a jam. That'll wake you up. Turn it down a little bit. Royalty-free music always gets the party going. Because you only need 2% more to pass. Are you now risking 1% per trade, or are you targeting one RR trade? I don't change anything, the stone. I'm just looking for a 1-to-1. I will risk 2%, and I'm just looking for a 1-to-1 trade. That's the beauty of my risk reward management system. I don't change anything. It works for me, not against me. Can't count how many keg stands I've done with the free music. Keep them coming, John. I love it. Keep them coming. I have a different one. Hold on. How do I get rid of that? Oh, I gotta trash it. I have a different one. Then maybe you'll like this one better. Maybe you'll like this one better. And we'll browse. It's going to be really loud. Let me turn it down. Hold on. Oh, shoot. Where'd it go? There it is. This one you may like better. Yeah. That's a vibe right there. That's pretty chill. That one's too common. Eardrum Hunter. This one's kind of cool. Sitting in circle, dude, passes Jamie. Nah. Nope. No, thank you. If we pass our challenge with royalty-free music today, it's going to play on every stream going forward. It's a cool jam. Come on. Netflix and chill music. I don't know if I would want to chill to this. If you know what I'm saying. I like it. I think it's cool. I need to turn it down though. That's pretty aggressive. So it just sits in the background like that. And when Venator has nothing to say, It's there to entertain us. It's what the stream was missing, royalty-free music. No, I'm not. I know exactly. I just said I would not want that music while I'm chilling. That's not my vibe for chill. Now this kind of sucks. It's just like disco, MIDI disco music. Not my vibe. Ugh. It's really bad. All right. That's enough of the music. I'm done with that. Let's get rid of that. Getting tagged here. Hold on. I got to figure out what's going on. Who blowing up my... Is anybody doing the competition, the bespoke competition? Anybody doing that free competition? Owen, what's up, man? Had a lecture first hour stream. What have I missed? You missed some incredible royalty-free music that we were just jamming to. Other than that, we're just waiting for the news to pass. The retail sales comes out in just under 30 minutes, so we're just chilling. Not much else. Could be high of the weekend. This gap right here, I would be interested to see the new day opening gap. What happens here on a pullback with the dollar? You've got breakers all through here where we've run buy side liquidity, and you've gotten displacement down. So we'll see how these fair value gaps hold up, this order block, these breakers, to see if we're going to get a reversal here. Just watch and wait. We're just looking for a 1-to-1, and I'm just waiting for a good setup to form. I do like this pound dollar setup, but not taking it until the news passes. We won't take anything until the news passes. Pound yen, no follow through. Pound Aussie's just sitting there doing nothing. US 30's doing nothing. Everything is just kind of doing. Euro has been rocketing off all morning. Spooky Halloween with some creepy laugh. Oh man, maybe. I had a meme made of me back in the day when I was a high school teacher. I used to have a giant mustache that curled on the ends, and this one student had a dorky pic of me with thick glasses on and words mustache and chill. John, you have to put that in the Discord. Come on, man. Let's go, John. Put it in the Discord. Pictures or it didn't happen. Cisco did the competition, hit the drawdown after first week. That's not uncommon. I think there's only like half of the people who register for the competition are still in it, because you have to gamble. You have to take massive risk to win those competitions. I think I'm going to do it next month. I'm going to try it next month and see if I can't get into like the top 20 or top 50 or something. You have to go max lot every, what is it, 5 lot? Is it a 5 lot max size? I can't remember. Yeah, you're if you lose two, you're probably done. 5 lot, that's what I thought it was. It's a 100K account. You go 5 lot. You got to get lucky. You're gonna have to hit and hold. You can't be closing for, like, my strategy to go for 1 to 2 probably isn't gonna work because you're not gonna be able to hit that many winning streaks. You really need to go max lot size on a couple of pairs and hold them and catch 1 to 5s, 1 to 10s, that kind of thing. Hold it for a while. Go max lot on gold and get lucky. Go max lot on, those pairs that can give you aggressive moves where you really do catch the high of the week and you just ride it down all week for 3 or 4 days. That's where you've got to that's where you're going to make your money on the competitions. Identifying good swing moves and just finding those right entries to hold it for a couple days. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to scalp your way into the top. It's just not possible. You're not going to consistently be able to do that for a whole month with that aggressive of a lot size. Yeah, it absolutely does. You got to go sniper entry, get lucky, catch a quick volatile shift in your direction. And then you got to do that 4 or 5 times in a month to be able to stay up there at the top. I mean, those dudes are what, like 100%, 200%? They're flipping that account in a month with aggressive gambling tactics. Eight o'clock hour, you're just into it. First 15-minute candle here in the 8 o'clock hour. Will be interesting to see how the dollar responds as it comes back up into this wick and into this opening gap. That will be its first test, in my opinion. Somewhere up in here, we'll see how the dollar wants to respond to that. Check out Discord, guys. I'm telling you, LFL is an amazing sport, just like NFL. Uh-oh, what are you talking about? Oh my God. Jesus. Good Lord. What is that? What is LFL? Is L lingerie football league? Good God. Gotta go wash my eyes. You gotta warn me about stuff like that before I just pull that up. Oh. Man, somebody's thirsty out there. I don't know if y'all can hear that. I think it's Kirby. He's out there drinking. Seriously, man. Getting all of us married guys Big old problems. Let me go see what's going on with that dog. Hold on. All right. News coming up in about 15 minutes. Dollar reaching right back up into that opening gap, into that fair value gap, pulling back currently. Astros lost again last night. Down 2-0 now. 0-2, I guess is the way it should be said. First team to make the American League Championship Series with a losing home record. Hey, buddy. What you doing, man? Hmm? What are you looking at? Hi. Hello. Hello, fella. Yeah. Nothing happening anywhere. Waiting is really the hardest part of this whole process. You sit and you just get so bored. You see price moving, you're like, oh, I could just get in right here. It's going to go up. It's going to go down. I can ride it up so it can go down. You start convincing yourself of all these things that you quote unquote see in the market, all these patterns. Because you just can't be patient. You just can't be patient. All right, 15 more minutes. A little less than 15 minutes now. About 12 minutes. And then we can actually start looking to see if we're going to get any kind of opportunity today. Let's see, tomorrow, what's tomorrow's news? Today we don't really have, we've got the retail sales. Tomorrow we don't really have much of anything. Pound has some CPI numbers out tomorrow morning. Dollar doesn't really have anything, some building permits. Pretty light news week. That's the breaker. We'll see how it responds if it wants to dip down into this fair value gap, this order block, and this breaker block. So you have an order block here. You have a breaker block. You have a fair value gap. If it violates this, this could be your high of the week right there. Potentially. Title: Brad's funky comeback setting, 90s club. Enter. Brad, high top fade and all. Approaches two fly girls. Ladies, let's groove. You're about as hip as a fanny pack. I had a high top. I had a high top fade, baby. Back in the 90s, mid 90s, I definitely rocked the high top fade. I'll have to find pictures. I'm sure my mom still has some around somewhere. I played basketball all 4 years in high school. Got my leather jacket. And I definitely had the high top. The flat top. Except I kept mine pretty short. It wasn't really a high top. It was just a flat top. I'll find a picture. I'll find it. It won't be me, but I'll show you exactly what. I gotta find one that was very similar to mine. Oh, it's like this. It was definitely like this. This is exactly the way I wore my hair in high school when I played basketball. Very short, flat. That's exactly how I wore it. Yeah, all of these are very similar to what I did. Even this guy here, I had that a few times too. I was actually bald for a little while. Like I would shave it, not in high school or after I got out of high school. I would just buzz it. My hair is so long right now though. Driving my wife crazy with it. She does not like it. Not a fan. All right, 7 more minutes. Get this news out of the way. We'll see. We'll see what the dollar wants to do after these retail numbers drop. I'm guessing. Here's my guess. My guess is, and I could be completely wrong, but my guess is that these retail numbers show that people are not buying very much. Core retail sales. They were previously 0.6%. That was the previous. They're forecasted to be 0.3 and 0.2. If they come in under that, this is actually probably going to bear for a weaker dollar if they come in under it, because it's going to show that the economy is going poorly, which means that you're less likely to see interest rate hikes if the economy is going poorly. And you would see dollar weakness. But if they come in as expected or a little bit hotter, you would probably see dollar strength. So let's just wait and see. We got 5 minutes. 5 more minutes and nothing to do. I did. It says you're about as hip as a fanny pack. I read it all. I never had a fanny pack. I will say that. Never once have I worn a fanny pack. They were very, very popular. All right, 4 more minutes. Here we go, 4 more minutes. This could not be going by. The second part, what's the second part? I'm on live chat. All messages. What am I missing? I'm definitely on live chat. Are you sure you hit enter? Because all I see is the intro script where it ends with "You're about as hip as a fanny pack." I agree with you, Cisco. I don't think he I don't think he put it out yet. I think maybe he thought he put it out. I think he probably has this incredible script in his head. I don't think he's actually typed it out to send it though. I'm just glad I'm not the only one who never saw a second part. That makes me feel better. He's probably trolling you. Most likely. 100% most likely. He definitely is trying to troll me. John, if John's not typing, he's not trolling. I'm not taking any trades until after the news. This was just a markup from earlier today in the session. But I don't trade retail news. That's one red folder news event that I will stand by for. So this is just analysis, data point. That's all. I don't trade red folder news. No matter how good the setup is, this is a good setup. No matter how good it is, I'm not interested in it. We will wait for the news to hit. Oh, man. All right. Let's see what happens. CAD news. We've got core CPI for CAD. That's going to come out. If you're in any CAD trades, I'd be very careful right now. See what these retail sales numbers coming up. There you go. As anticipated, weakness for the foreigns. This 15-minute candle needs to close out. We'll see what happens after that. This could just be a fake news. Oh my gosh. So the retail sales came in way hotter than expected. They were anticipating 0.2 and 0.3% respectively, and they came in at 0.6 and 0.7. Way hotter, 0.5% hotter than anticipated. And like I said, I feel like if those come in hot, it means the economy is still cooking, which means the likelihood that there's another interest rate hike before a cut is high, which is probably going to be bullish for the dollar. So potentially here, your high of the weekend, we're going to wait for confirmation. Pound dollar, if it gets displacement through, you could get your sell, the last down move before you ran buy side liquidity, get displacement through. So there's your breaker there. Euro dollar, your first breaker is right here. It's inside this breaker now, so we'll just wait and see. But if you're anticipating this being the high of the week, you would want to see displacement through these down close candles on the 15-minute time frame. And if it wants to go back up higher, it's more than willing to do that. Could just chop today. May not get any real good clear direction one way or the other. Dollar yen gapping up. US 30 gapping down, popped back up. Again, it's why would this be bad news for the economy? It's that the economy is not slowing down. It means that the core retail sales are still high. People are out there still spending all their money. They still have money to spend. The economy's pumping. When the economy's pumping, the feds are trying to cool the economy off. They need to get inflation under control. For inflation to get under control, they need the economy to be functioning poorly, more poorly than it is now, basically. You have very, very low unemployment, but inflation is just still way above where they want it to be. And when the core retail sales come in hot like that, it just shows the strength of the U.S. economy right now. Nice little, we'll see how this closes out. This could be a nice little inverted fair value gap for the DXY right here. And same for Euro. As it blows through these fair value gaps, will be interesting to see if it can hold this inverted fair value gap here. If it gets fair value gaps that become violated, just like an order block that gets violated, any PD array that should support or resist price, if it gets violated, when it comes back, those are your true support and resistance levels. It's not necessarily supply and demand levels, at least the way I trade them. Those should be respected. And when it violates them aggressively, any return to them will typically be your point of entry. Pound dollar here. We'll need this 15-minute candle close, so we still have about 10 more minutes there, but dollar's pumping aggressively there. We may have some opportunities here to participate short. We did anticipate high of the week. We said we would switch our bias if we see the classic signs. We are starting to see those, seeing some buy-side liquidity get run here on GU. We're seeing displacement away now that the news has hit. So any return back up into these breaker blocks could present us with selling opportunities. Metro yesterday. You got to get in the stream and watch. Wasn't worth the wait. Oh boy, here we go. Brad pulls out a boombox. Check this out. He plays royalty-free funk. All right, let's get down. Brad puts some funky Kid and Play moves, and all the Fly Honeys join in. Yeah, I mean, I have no moves. I have no moves. Is it only me who hears clicking sounds of games on Brad's background? Clicking sounds of games? I mean, all I know is that, I mean, you can hear everything that's going on in this room. So if I breathe or tap or hit the desk, I mean, that's the only thing I could think of. My stomach is growling too, a little bit. You may hear that. Yeah, well, I click the mouse. I have to click the mouse every time I move the screen to grab it and hold it. So that's probably what you're hearing. And I move my screen all the time. It's just like ADD. I don't even know. I'm always adjusting my view on my monitor, so it's probably annoying as hell watching this, but it's your stomach. It could be. I get all these morning growls going on, so I kind of like this GU setup here on to the downside. Closer outside of this range is obvious clear displacement. Ran the buy side, come back up into it. I don't know if we're going to get that big of a pullback there. Euro dollar looks good too, though. It's nice and clean. I like it as well. It's the royalty-free music. I get that. The royalty-free music, man, it's the ticket. It is the ticket. It's the holy grail. You got to have the right royalty-free music playing if you want to be a successful trader. All right, so, gosh, what do I want to do here? Both of these are primo. I kind of like, I think, the EU setup a little bit better. Basically, I need that right there. So this is, I just have a euro dollar sell limit here. It's 05535. I've got 05719. And I only need 053. That's all I need right there. I need a 0.89. I don't even need a 1-to-1. So there's a EU sell limit there. Put that in Discord. Probably will set one up on GU as well. On GU, GU, I think I would go here. So the GU sell limit is going to be 215, 21579, 21768, and 21410. That's all I need on GU. So I'll set that up as well, copy that, put that into the Discord. Both are valid. We need less than 1-to-1 to close this out. So we'll see if we can get any participation. Now we wait. Sell limits in place. How long are we staying on today? I don't know. We'll see if we get triggered in or not. We'll see if we get triggered in or not. Kind of have a feeling this is just going to break away here. If it does, it's all right. Not a big deal. We'll find another trade setup. I'll leave these on until around 10:30 a.m. New York time. If they don't get triggered, we'll cancel them. But these are both valid setups here. Nice clean runs of buy side here. Took out this swing high. Took out this swing high. And then you get displacement through. And on euro dollar, obviously, you've taken out several areas of buy side here and here. All this over here. Tapped into all of it, and you're displacing away. So we'll see if we can get a return This next 15-minute candle will close, leave behind some fair value gaps, so we get the next hourly candle to open, come back up, retest that order block, this bullish order block right here, which is inside of our breaker and fair value gap, and then just drop. That's what we are waiting for. Trading is simple. Trading is boring. Trading is all about just sitting around and waiting. Wait for price to show you what it wants to do. Oh boy. Oh my God. I'm not reading that. I'll stay on till the top of the hour. Why not? We got our order set. We know what we were looking for. We called it. We were looking and anticipating this is the high of the week is in. So we're now waiting for a little pullback here on one of these. We'll cancel one if the other gets triggered, of course. So I've got GU up over there on my MT5. So we'll watch EU here for any pullbacks. We can cancel one or the other. Hold on a second. I'm going to push mute for a minute. Sorry, I got that. I don't think EU's been tapped in yet. Let me look on my. Yeah, nothing has been tapped in yet. EU's the closest. Neither one are there. I will get ready to cancel one or the other though. Both are approaching entries. I read them all. I'm just not reading it out loud, John. It's okay. It's very clever. It's very clever. Still just sitting here waiting for our entry to get tagged in. One of these, either EU or GU. EU has more sell side liquidity to grab. GU's already grabbed it a little bit. It still has more. Both of them still have quite a bit more sell side to go. But I feel like EU may get tapped before GU. We'll see. Still nothing tapped in. Still got about 6 more minutes here on this hourly candle. All right, Cisco. 3 more minutes here. We'll get this 8 o'clock hour. Hopefully we get that candle open on the hourly. That first 15 minute will wick us in one of these into that 15-minute fair value gap there. And then we'll get our little push down. Watching Euro here, and I'm watching GU on my MT5 machine over here. EU is definitely the closest to entry, so we'll be ready to kill the other, whichever one goes first. You got this, John. You got this, buddy. I would pay money to come watch you do stand up. And you can use any Venator material that you need. I will give you royalty-free license. How about that? That's called a callback in the stand-up comedy world. Pulling that thread all the way through. Comedy genius, I tell you. All right, here's that new hourly open. We'll see if we get a push up into that fair value gap. See if we can get a trigger in, and then get our drop here. Pushing for it. Not quite there. Reached right up into that fair value gap on EU. GU not really moving much. It's going to be quite the swerve if it drops from there. Just need one more little push up. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. There we are. GU canceled, EU is in. So I've got GU canceled now, and we'll take a screenshot of this, copy image, go down to our Discord. EU triggered in. Cancel GU limit. All right, we're in. Now we're just waiting. Hopefully we can get a drop down here. We just need to get to not even a 1-to-1, and then we'll be set. We'll be able to knock this phase out today. So there's the only thing that can happen here is a stop loss, or we pass phase 1. That's it. There's no break-even point. There's no anything. It's just, it's going to hit my take profit or it's going to hit my stop loss. Those are the only two options on this trade from this point forward. Owen, my friend, I think you might have been a little too aggressive on that. So we're tagged in. Sniper entry so far. Literally the high of that candle is 05530 on 8 cap, but on Think Markets we are tagged in here. I'll pull up my euro dollar chart so you can see. You can see literally, I don't know, it's so hard to see that. That is a sniper entry. Come on. The damn camera graphic. I can't get it. There it is. It's in sniper entry. We need to get to 10,800. We are at 10,700 right now. Sup, Ace? Still waiting for confirmations. I'm not sure what other confirmations your system needs. Mine are all there. We took the trade. Excellent entry, well deserved after all the swerves. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you're going to get the snipers like we got right here. I mean, literally to the pipette we got tagged in, and it's dropping. And now, you know, we're reaping the rewards of that. So sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. So as long as we take out this hourly low here, the last hourly low, we'll be passing. We're at 750 right now, 10,750. So another $50 and we pass this challenge. Let me just make sure. Let me make sure that's right here. 178, 617. Actually, we need to go just a little bit lower because of the commissions. I forgot their commissions are a little higher. So we need 185. Okay, so my new TP is 05365. This is my new TP because I forgot about the commissions there. So we're at 10,750 still, hovering around 10,750. See you, John. So let's see, 185, 618, and 185. Yeah, that should get us just over. That should just get us just over if we can get down there. Get them celebration emojis ready to go. We'll see. It would suck if it just turns around right here and runs the stop loss a 0.5% away. So if I was taking this trade, it would still be a valid trade. I would still be right there. My stop would still be where it is, and my target would be right there. This is where the ultimate 1 to 2 target would be. Is this sell side, all of this sell side liquidity under here. And I'd probably move to break even underneath these lows right here. This would probably be my break even point if I was in this trade for good here. How are you finding Think Markets versus ACAP? Well, I mean, execution's fine. The commissions are a little bit higher. It's $7 round trip versus $4 round trip. So that's a little bit more. I didn't take that into account on this trade, so I just had to adjust my TP a little bit there. But I mean, it's fine. I haven't had any issues. There's been no lag. Executions have been tight. Spreads are perfect. Yeah, I mean, it's been fine. Absolutely fine. So hopefully we can get a 1-to-1 here. Would finish this thing out perfectly. And we can start phase 2 tomorrow maybe, or Thursday. We'll see. What's GU doing? Come back up a little bit. This would be a, I can't see that. Why isn't that? A 4-win streak. Yeah, if it does actually win, which right now it's pulling back, so that sucks. So we'll see. The sucky part about if it hits the stop loss here is that number one, Owen might get triggered in. But you're half a pip away. We were half a pip away from passing. That's the frustrating part. But maybe Owen will get triggered in. That could be good. $6 drawdown is really not a whole lot of drawdown. Yeah, $6 drawdown. You're fine. You're basically at break even. I'd really like to see this thing drop and hit TP on the stream. Past phase 1 live on the stream. That'd be fun. I feel like DXY may want to come back down into the fair value gap. See, Eurodollar dropped into this fair value gap here, and DXY hasn't. So I'm thinking dollar may want to come back down into this fair value gap, maybe into this breaker right here a little bit. And if it does, EU could come up still a little bit more. But could also just fall right here. Take out that hourly low. Yeah, please wait on the stream. I want to see it live. We'll hang out for a little bit. I do need to go take a little bathroom break, though. It's been 2 hours and this coffee's kicking in. So I may just... I may go take a little potty break here for a second. Internet's being dodgy? Oof. Dodgy internet's no good. DXY pulling back down now into this imbalance off of that news candle. So we should find some support for euro in there somewhere. Looks like Owen's about to get triggered in. Maybe more people will like the stream. Who knows? $14 likes. It's not bad. It's more than half. Owen, did you get clipped in on that? It was right at 5550. If you have a zero pip spread, then you probably got tagged in on that. It's a decent setup. It really is. So we'll see. DXY dropping into that breaker now, into this fair value gap. So we'll see where it wants to find some support there. Hopefully it finds some support. Otherwise, our trade will be in jeopardy. All right, I'm gonna go since we're up here into drawdown and we're not close to TP yet. I'm gonna go ahead and take a little bathroom break, and we'll stay on for another 15 minutes, and then we'll call it. So I'll be right back. All right. No, I was just not sitting on the toilet for that long. I had to take the trash out, let the dog out. Still finding some support here. Off of this breaker, so that's good for us, good for our trade. Pound dollar has just gotten triggered in. If you were holding and waiting for GU instead of EU, it's triggered in, and EU is coming back down now after tapping in, taking a little bit of a deeper dig into that fair value gap. So back down to entry. So everything's looking good. I'm going to stay on for about 10 more minutes, guys, and then we're going to go ahead and call it a stream today. Thanks for the friendly reminder. We'll stay on for about 10 more minutes. I'd love to see this thing pass while we're on the stream, but who knows what it's actually going to do. So just chilling and waiting. We were within 0.5%. As price was all the way down here, we were within 0.5% of passing. That sucked. Being that close. Things are moving nicely, though. Tian, this is the only strategy that I trade on the live stream. I do use other strategies that coordinate with order blocks, fair value gaps, OTEs on higher time frames, but on the live stream, the breaker is the only one that I use for this $10K to $2 million funding challenge. And mostly just to remind people that you only need one strategy. You can master one strategy, and that's all you need. That's all you need. You don't have to have multiple strategies. You don't have to have multiple entries. You just need one strategy. Master one strategy, give it 6 months, and watch what it can do to your trading career. This is all you need. One strategy. GU may have been the better play here. I like how this 30-minute chart is looking, though. The liquidity underneath this old swing low is probably where we're heading. Right here. As soon as this candle closed bearish and closed displaced below the last hourly candle, this became a bearish order block right here. This up close candle, you had a bearish order block created right here. So as price opened and pushes back up into this order block, this will hold price down. And you immediately look to sell side liquidity, which will be underneath this swing low here and these relative equal lows over here, which if you were going for a full 1 to 2, this would be about where you're targeting for a break even if you're holding for a 1 to 2. Back in profits. Would suck just to see this thing waddle around entry all for the next 4 hours. The breaker block is a pretty powerful concept. It's a violation of an order block, and if it's in line with the trend, you have a very high probability setup. Just being able to wait for them and identify them is probably the hardest part of breaker blocks. Is just waiting for them to play out and actually get set up the right way. Hope so, man. I hope you're right, Owen. I would love to knock this thing out and go get on with my day, get my new account set up and ready for tomorrow. Blast it on the socials. But we'll have to wait and see. $30-minute is closing just a little bullish. New 30-minute candle open here. The way that 30-minute candle closed is nice. Yeah, I definitely bodes well for just even the higher time frames here. We should see, after this quick stab of liquidity, we should see some movement down through this swing level right here. That's where my eye is currently locked in on, is this swing level right there. So just like if this was a daily chart, if this was the swing level that we were anticipating price to hit to, it comes right to it, it pauses, comes back up, runs into some internal liquidity, picks up more internal liquidity in the form of a fair value gap. When you enter on internal liquidity, you're targeting external liquidity. When you enter on external liquidity, you would target internal liquidity as your TP. So we enter on internal liquidity grabs and we target external liquidity grabs. That's basically how the breaker block strategy would work. I will look at the indices. We don't take many trades on the indices, but I do monitor them, and US 30 specifically. But NAS and S&P, we look at them occasionally from time to time. But most of euro dollar and pound dollar have been moving so clean. The last several weeks, they've just been moving so clean. There's no reason to, you can capture great moves here with them. All right, guys, I think I'm going to call it here. This thing's just going to piddle around on us, it looks like. If it takes out this old 15-minute high, probably not going to be good for us. So I'm just going to, there's nothing else to do except sit here and watch. And the stream's been great. You guys have been awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and call it here. And we'll just monitor this off the stream. I'll post screenshots as we go, depending on what happens. So Anyway, thank you guys so much for being here again today. As always, the stream wouldn't be what it is unless you guys were in here participating with me. So thanks for doing that. We'll be back again tomorrow, Wednesday, 7 a.m. New York time. We will either have a brand new Phase 2 challenge, or we'll be still in profit, but still just a little bit more work to do on this challenge. So we'll see either way. Something's going to happen. We don't know what, but we'll stick around and find out. So you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe. Happy hunting. And we'll catch you all tomorrow. Adios, guys.